Okay, so I think today is a good day to work on this White House. And what I really want to emphasize as we go into it is how important this work that we've done in our underpainting and our glazing to get a kind of dark layer to lay the house, to lay the whites on top of. If we lay white on white, of course, it looks very flat. So right now I am dipping my brush. I'm going to go even a little bit lower because I can. I have a fairly skinny brush because I'm going to start working up here. See, look at how nice and bright that white appears on top of the pink. And I'm looking at the areas. I'm kind of moving around. I'm just using straight white paint. If I wanted to, I could dip my brush a little bit in the Galkyd light so it runs a little bit smoother, but I can also totally just use white paint. And I am actually finding that it's helpful. There's a little lamp post here too, a little lamp like this one. We may want to include that in there. I'm just kind of skipping around it for now. Notice that this Doolin sign comes like below this line.
Below the center.
Yeah. So I'm basically bringing white in where, so it helps to have a smaller brush for this. It may take a little bit longer.
Is that pure titanium white, or are you like
Actually pure titanium white right now? In areas, we're going to add a little bit of gray, which I'll show you how to mix. But right now, since you guys both have that base, I mean, look at how nicely the white is sitting on top of the dark pink mottled gray. I'm just kind of working around. There's also a kind of line here. So I'm just, instead of painting that in, I'm leaving a little space of pink, which seems to be working very well. Right, so anything that's not white, I'm just painting around. Yeah, how rare is it that we just like lay white on something? Almost never do we get to just do that. But of course, we did a lot of things, right, to get to this point. I can see that this and this kind of line up together at the top. So if you want to, if you're not feeling sure of your hand, let's see here, I'm gonna put you here. You can certainly take a ruler.
Oh, to make that line, yeah.
Yeah, just to keep that line, just to protect those spaces and areas.
This is so ugly right now. I just want to not cry, but.
Oh, Diana, do you want to show it or are you just sick of it?
I'm sick of it. But
I wondered if the composition wasn't quite.
No, I don't like it. I should have just done the branches and turned it the other way around. I might do that later, but now I've started, so I'm going to see if I can solve this.
Okay, all right. If you want to send it across, you can. I'll take a look.
I will. Yeah, I mean, there is not much help right now, but it will come.
Gotcha. I'm sorry. Bummer.
Yeah, so this is where it's at right now, but the tree has no leaves yet, so.
Tree has no, let's see.
I don't understand what your problem is with that. I wish I could do that.
It's not what she would, I know what it is.
Mm.
It's okay, Diana. It's better than you think it is.
We'll see. We'll see when we.
It's better than you think it is. Just keep working. You're
Yes.
getting,
Another day, I think I'm sick of it right
I
now.
get you. But I actually think you brought it somewhere. So I think you should feel proud of that. I think you brought it to a place. You brought it to a good place.
So I'm gonna get in my car and travel for 2 hours or 3,
Oh, where are you going?
going down to Orange County. A friend of mine from Sweden that's visiting, and I'm gonna spend the night with her and then drive back tomorrow.
How fun.
Oh, that is coming along.
It's looking nice, isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful.
We just are adding white right now, which, as we were discussing, is so interesting because how rare is it that you just have this moment, you know what I mean, to kind of like skip in.
Is that oil or?
This is oil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you gotta say, as I said, not really into it myself these days, but like, you can't beat it for texture. And we're using a little tiny brush.
This is good.
Notice where the, this white building, this little white house ends, just a little bit below the top of the fence here. And then it's kind of blocked on this side.
It is a cool one.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the whole thing. Starting to come. There's also a good lesson in like how a painting kind of comes about.
Yeah.
So Leah, I just want to go back for one thing.
Yeah,
When you were using the ruler, that was for the top of the windows because you were.
yeah. They're kind of lined up at the top. The window and this board here, this sign,
Right.
yeah, they're kind of lined up.
See you
I'm
next
gonna
week,
take a
guys.
couple minutes and heat up my tea. I'll be
Bye,
back.
Diana. Okay, perfect.
Bye, Diana. Oh, Diana,
Bye,
bye-bye.
Diana.
Francesca, how's it going for you? How's it going, Francesca? Yeah, and then if you want to, you can mix a little bit of burnt sienna and burnt umber together to create a kind of gray. Mix some white in. And then kind of right under the eaves, while the paint is still wet, you can create something that's a little bit darker. Add a line that's a little bit darker.
You said burnt sienna and burnt umber?
No, burnt sienna and ultramarine blue.
Burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. Thank you.
And then I'm actually taking some of my white on my brush and blending it up into it. So it's a softer dark. I'll save the second half of this to show it to Pat. And then in terms of on this side, people are going to want to use shadow color. Stop it. Oops. And if you take, let's get an ultramarine here. So here is burnt sienna, ultramarine blue, and white, which creates a kind of gray. If you add just a touch more burnt sienna to it and a lot more white.
Mhm.
I'm working on the top of I'm working on the fence now.
So you said you added some more burnt sienna and some more white to that?
I am sort of trying to mix the fence color with those three: burnt sienna, burnt umber, burnt sienna, ultramarine blue, and white, to create a kind of grayish color. It's actually not bad.
Different than the gray you have on the eaves.
Yeah, a little bit different because it's a little bit kind of orangey or yellower. I'll wait on this till Pat gets back. Oh, you're here.
I'm back. I'm back.
So we're mixing a gray Pat, and I want you guys, I'm going to go very up close so you can see what I'm doing here. I've mixed a gray, which is burnt sienna, burnt umber, and white.
Okay.
And I've got a little brush, and I am going to be laying little strokes to create this rocky ledge, but I don't want everything to match up. So I'm letting little bits of the dark come through, right? I'm not covering up the dark. I'm doing little strokes that kind of stack.
Okay.
Randomly letting some of that dark come through. So can you guys see that some of the dark is through here?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm using that dark kind of to help push the brick back in places. I can't paint every brick. And there's this bit of tree right here. So I'm paying a little attention to how the dark, using the bricks to work around the dark tree branch right here. When I get over here, the stones are bigger because this part of the fence is closer. And our fence goes a little bit further down because of how we painted this. I know at least I have a little bit of extra. So I'm just kind of imagining how that brick would work. And then right here where it turns in, it's a little bit lighter. So I use more white on my brush. And I change the direction to go like a little bit angled up. See, so I get a little bit lighter here where the turn is. And then I can also get a little bit lighter on the top. This is kind of thin, very light white. This is just straight white. Same over here, there's this kind of. Really bright top, like a. Sort of like a cube. The top of a cube. So, oh shoot, can't really see that part. There we go. So try to get to this point. Then we'll work on the side a little bit. That might be a great place. Oops. I've kind of, from here down, I've kind of made up what I think is happening and anticipating what would happen. So you're going to need to do that a little bit too. Oh, how fun. We always just get a little further each time.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, this would not be the moment to add in the red of the windows or the blue of the signs. It would be next time after the white is dry.
Okay.
And then, of course, we can also, I suppose, while we're here, take this gray color that we've mixed with ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, and white, and mix a darker gray color, and you can make that the roof here. So it's just the same, just less white. Interesting. This really comes up higher. Yep, I predict that by the end of 2023, we'll finish this, guys.
It will be a masterpiece.
And
It's
then
our-
we'll all have to go to Ireland to show it off.
It's
That's
our,
right.
are you going to Ireland?
I wish.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Pat, I was gonna say, there's also a little bit of this gray kind of under the eaves here, but whiter, so you can lay it down and then get some white on your brush and kind of brush the white up to soften. See how I'm doing that? So
Where
it's
you-
slightly grayer.
In the eaves.
Yeah, in the eaves. because the roof kind of sticks out a little bit. So right now, what I don't have is this bright white line. I'll add that in later. But I have the eave color, and I'm kind of skipping over these little lanterns that are on the side right now. Those will be a last thing to do too. There is a little light line here, if you want to add that in. And honestly, there's a slightly darker grayish white back here. So you can add that in. Too, a bit more blue. Even whiter. Let's go to the right. Value for the roof. Really, this white kind of goes on this building. We probably won't be able to go much further than that. We'll see. The last thing you can do if you want to is do a kind of slightly darker grayish white on the side here, not that dark. Sometimes you'll find it takes a little fiddling around until you get exactly what you're looking for, but the side should be slightly darker on the bottom. And then definitely lighter on the top. And there's these windows, so you'll just do kind of straight lines here. That's a kind of white straight line going down.
That's gonna give me plenty to work on my own. It's good.
Right? This is about how far I'll take you.
That's a pretty gray even when it's dark.
It is. It's an earthy, kind of wormy gray.
So I'm sorry, Leah, did you put gray in the roof already of the White House?
I did. I
did.
just took a slightly darker version of the gray that was in here.
Yeah.
Put it up here. And then I put a little bit more blue and white in it and added it to this back one. Because this back roof, you know, if there's a little bit of gray, I'm like, this back roof is bluer and lighter. So I was like, might as well just skip over. So the sort of natural inclination is once you have this color out, where else do you need it? Right? We've got it. Where else do we need white? There really, I mean, there's this little area back here, but I don't even know if we need to put that in. I'm not worried about that so much. You feel like it, you can. And I have right now skipped over the lanterns. We will add those in later if we want to. And let me take a picture of this. I'm going to send it across the thread really quick so you guys have it.
That'd be great.
To see the brush strokes kind of up close. Yeah, I know. My camera's not fantastic, so let's see. That's really, it's a little bit yellower than what's actually happening. That's just because my camera's kind of starting to fail. But at least you can see the brushwork, which is the more important thing than the actual hue. Let's see.
Yeah, that'll help me a lot. Okay.
Yeah, as you're working. I know when I demoed it, I did it pretty fast, so. And all of that was done with a pretty small brush. Yeah, and about 2 or 3 but we're gonna end class in a couple minutes. So I'm actually gonna remove the spotlight. And I'd love you to hold up kind of where you're at. Take a couple minutes, like 1 or 2 minutes to finish up
Oh, okay.
the area and then hold it up. By the way, particularly with this one, please do feel free to feel welcome to work on this one on your own too. You don't just have to work on it in class. I feel like this is one of those ones, there's a lot of layers to it, so there's a lot to do.
Yeah, I have been actually, as long as I'm clear on what it is.
Right to
to
do. So I'm just trying to sort of task you on that. That's exactly right. Task you on the sort of specifics so you know where to go. But I would feel, it's true with honestly, it's true with any assignment.
I took a couple liberties in the geometry of this house,
Yeah.
and I'm probably paying for it a little bit, but I think I can still make it. I think I can still make it work. So when you look at it, I hope you're harsh, but not.
Make sure the perspective isn't off too much. That's fair.
Right. In other words, like I know that I did it on purpose, but I'm half regretting it now, but I think I can still fudge it.
This is how we do it.
I think you're allowed to move houses around. I think that's.
That looks pretty good, Pat. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I still got more work to do on that fence. Well, I got a lot more,
Yep.
the whole thing.
All
even
right.
did.
Let's see, Andy. Let's see. Hold yours up. Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. No problem at all on the house. I like it. I like
And then since I spent so much time with this, I know Pat did as well. It's my duck.
He looks fantastic. He's
Yeah.
adorable. I love it. Francesca, hold up your duck. Okay, so everybody, it's hard to see. It's looking good. I'm going to spotlight everybody's. I wonder if there's a way to show it where the light isn't so glaring, where we can see it better. Very nice. I feel your ducky I love the corrections you made on the head, on the face shape. Look at how the background is helping him start to come forward. Very, very nice. Andy, I'm going to switch you out. I'm going to replace the spotlight. Stinking adorable. So adorable. Really
So
great.
should I just not do anything on I don't quite know where to begin painting this, whether you wanted an under.
Yeah, I do want an underpainting. So if you want to do an underpainting in like burnt sienna, lighter and darker, you could totally do that.
In oils.
Yeah, in oil.
Okay,
So
great.
use Gamsol and a light, thin layer of darks and lights, not too detailed. That would be a great way. Then we'll have you pick up on the next class. We'll have you pick up on that. Excellent. And Pat, can you hold yours up again? I'm going to have you very nice. It's so appealing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Very
really-
appealing. Yep, looking good. Oh, these are fun. They're gonna totally be fun. They're very nice. And I see everybody totally tweaked their village a little bit. That's okay. Simplifying a little bit, making things a little bit easy. There's so much detail in this that I think we totally have a right to take liberties, and they can be different depending on like how much you feel like putting in. But I think they're looking really good. Nice work, you guys. Wonderful. Andy, it's nice to have you back as always.
Great to be back.
Don't
Yeah,
be
it's
a
good to see you.
stranger. And we'll see you guys next time. So remember, I'll send you, Andy, I'll send you and Pat the details, but you basically just join on this thread and at 9 o'clock and noon, right? Rather than 1 o'clock, and jump in and show Lotto some stuff that you want to do. Just say this is an idea. I want to paint more like this, or I'd like to do this, or how would I start? And see what he tells you.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
All right, you guys.
Bye.
Jessica,
See
good
ya.
night.
Bye. Have a
Bye-bye.
good
Bye.
week.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye, Leah.
Bye.
Bye, Pat.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.